friends, I'm Jennifer from DecorSauce, and today I'm going to show you how to DIY your own beautiful carved headboard out of these awesome decorative wall panels from Target. So these panels are awesome, like I said before, and they're really inexpensive. They're about $25 for 2 panels. And to create your own headboard for a king-size bed, you need at least 6. And 6, it covers the length of the bed only. But I wanted my headboard to be extra dramatic, so I'm gonna use 12 of these and stack one on top of the other. And I'm gonna show you the easiest way to hang these. I have 2 windows that flank each side of my bed. And unfortunately, when the builders built my home, they didn't think a thing about furniture placement and just went ahead and smacked 2 windows on the front of the house. The space between the 2 windows isn't even enough to fit a king-size headboard. Most king-size headboards are around 78 inches. My wall is 74. So when I did have a king-size headboard here before that was bought in a store, it actually covered up the window by 2 inches on each side, which made it really complicated for hanging curtains behind it and things like that. So I had to get real creative over the years on how to make this space appear like it fit the bed. Anyways, it was terrible. So I'm really excited about this because now I'm going to be able to custom use the wall to build the perfect headboard, and I don't have to worry about any overlapping over the windows. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to lay my panels up against the wall so I can see exactly where I want them to start. I'm not going to start them under my mattress. I'm going to start them right on top of my mattress so that when my pillows are on there, it won't hide too much of the headboard and it'll make it look really tall. Okay, so after we measure the wall, the next thing we need to do is measure the panels as they are side by side. So as you can see, I have all 6 of them laid out here on the floor together. And then I'm going to use a tape to find out exactly what they measure so I can decide where to start hanging them on my wall. The panels are 71 inches and my wall is 74 inches. So I just have to start 1.5 inches in on each side. Use pencils so that you can erase your marks if you need to. But I want my panels to start right above where my mattress is. So I figure out exactly where I want this panel to hang. I'm gonna make a mark, top corner. And I'm going to measure over and make sure it's right at 1.5 inches. And if it isn't, I'm gonna mark it right at 1.5 inches. And now this is where my level line is going to begin. So it's going to begin at the corner and I'm going to go over from there. Next thing we need to do is we're going to take the top panel and I'm going to put that right on top. And so I'm going to make a mark right on the corner of that one as well. And now I know where my top line needs to start as well, but I will double check that before I make any marks. Once I get the bottom hung, then I'll be able to work on the top. Okay, so when you're hanging multiple pieces of art like I am here and you need them to be all exactly the same, here is my super easy cheat. So you line them up on the floor just like you see here and you grab your longest level that you have. Mine is this one here, which is 48 inches. And you want to grab one that has all the measurements on it and you want to make sure that it's really clean so it doesn't have any marks that you've already made previously on your level, because this is how I hang everything, folks, everything that has more than one hook. So you lay them exactly the way you want them on the floor. You lay them out like you see here below me. You take your level and you put it right on top of your hooks, just like this I have here. And then every single place that there is one of your hangers, you make a mark directly on the level. Okay, so mine is right about here. Take your pencil. Make your first mark right in the middle of the hanger, right directly on the level. And then when you lift the level up on the wall, you make the marks from where you have them on the level directly on the wall, and it hangs it perfectly straight every single time. And then after you make all of your marks, you make a mental note exactly where they are so that you remember and you can find them really easily. So one is like around 1.5, one is around 10-ish, and then you just make a mental note of that. And that way, when you hang the level up on the wall, you remember approximately where they were to look for them when you get them up there. So I'm gonna continue making my marks and then I'll show you how I transfer that up to the wall. So I've made all the marks on my level and I'll show you what they look like just with pencil. See, and you can kind of see a little bit of an outline about where the marks are. And then I'm gonna set my level exactly on the line where I drew for the first panel on the bottom. And I'm gonna make my marks exactly where they are on this level on the wall. And then that way I know exactly how far apart the hooks are and I don't have to do a lot of measuring and math and mistakes, because that's what would happen. If I was trying to calculate this on a piece of paper, I would just make mistakes. This is almost foolproof, guys. It works every single time. If your hooks are not even, and you can tell that by looking at the back of your art, you wanna make sure you move your hooks first. And it's usually really simple. You just unscrew the little screw that's there and measure and mark and re-screw it back in. It usually takes just like 5 seconds. It's so easy, and it's much easier to move the hooks if they aren't perfect on the back of your art than it is to try to move a nail and get that right, get that to translate from your art to your wall. So now I'm gonna take my level and I'll show you how I make the marks. Make sure you level it up. And then you make your marks. And if your art is longer than your level, you just slide your level over and make the necessary marks that you need to make. I guess probably the same thing goes with the reasonable expectation that your art's hooks are the same. We're gonna have that expectations throughout, and I only had enough length on my level to mark for 4 of the panels, and I'm gonna continue on so that I have markings for all 6 panels. Just making sure that you keep that level nice and straight. Now all of my marks are made, and I can just double check them to make sure they look good before I go ahead and hammer in my nails. So before you start nailing your nails into the wall for your first row of panels, because we're doing a double, if you're only doing a single row, then you can go for it, make your nail holes and you'll be fine. But since we're doing a double wall hanging, we need to also measure the top to the bottom before we hammer in the nails. Once you nail in a nail, if you try to measure from a measurement point to a nail, it's a little bit off. So you wanna make sure that you do it on a flat wall before you nail any holes. So now we're gonna measure for the second one. We're gonna find out what the distance is between the first and second panel, and we're gonna do the same thing with the level. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna lay the panels down, one on top of the other. And then I'm gonna measure between the 2 hooks. And then that way I'll know exactly where to put the level from the top to the bottom to make those marks. And we're gonna do the exact same thing, but I'm gonna flip it over. So I'm gonna use the fresh, smaller numbers on the bottom. Set my level. And you can even do it from the corner if you want to, if that makes it easier. So put your corner exactly where your first mark is going to be. And you know that that's that corner there. And then your second mark is going to be right in the center where your other nail will go. Okay, so now you have a mark at the corner and you have a mark here. So you're gonna put your level right up to your first mark here. And I don't know if you can see it. Let me try to get close. Okay, so if you can kind of see, these are where my marks are. So these are where the hooks or the nails are gonna go for the first row of panels. We can start at the end here. So here's our first mark. This is where our first mark is. And we're gonna take that measurement we just made from the top hook to the bottom hook, and that's where we're gonna make our mark for the nail. Sorry. So we're gonna take the level where we just made our mark, and we're gonna match up that mark on the level with our first mark on the wall, just like this. And I'm gonna get that nice and level according to my bubbles on my level here. And once my level is spot on, from the little mark I made on the floor to the corner here, I'm gonna just make a second mark right at the top, right at the corner. And that is where my second nail is going to be. So after you have the mark made on the bottom where your nail is gonna be, just here, and at the top where your nail is going to be, which is here, now I'm gonna make my marks for the second row. Okay, so now my marks are drawn for both top and bottom, and I'll quickly see if you can see those. and the bottom. And I did measure between each one with my other mark that I made on the small side of the level to make sure the distance was exactly right between each hook. So now I know that when I hang them, as long as all the hooks on the back of the panels are the same, then all these panels should hang exactly right, one on top of the other, and then all 12 of them even. I'm gonna start with just hanging 2. One on top and one on the bottom with the marks I made, and make sure everything looks good before I make holes in the wall for all 12 panels. These panels, with 12 of them, there's 2 hooks on the back of each panel, so that's 24 nails. If you don't get them right, it's a lot of holes in the wall to patch and repair. So we want to make sure that we measure twice and cut once, so to speak. Okay, now when you nail your nails into the wall, make sure you go in nice and straight and not at any wonky angles. For watching my tutorial on how to DIY your own Indonesian style carved wood headboard. If you like this video, I would really appreciate if you would like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my new content. Any of the products I use in the video will be featured in the description box and the links below, so be sure to check that out too. For the full transformation of this room, visit my channel at DecorSauce or my website at DecorSauce.com for exclusive content. Thank you so much and have a happy DIY.